Good morning. Happy Tuesday. So I realized that I had told you guys I was going to take you through that process of how to make a major decision, and I never did that. I was going to do that video when I was out in California, and I never got to that. So for the rest of this week, that's what we're going to go through and do. And I'm going to take you through a decision that I had to make recently where I used this process, and again, this isn't something that you use if you're going to decide where am I going to dinner tonight. But when you've got a major decision, this is a great process to use in order to do that. So let me tell you what my decision was, and then over the next 3 days we'll go through this process. So my decision. For over 40 years, my family has worked on this thing called the Aquan Open. It's a golf tournament. And my dad was one of the original founders of it. And I was one of the members on the committee, and I worked on it. And we loved this golf tournament. We loved this day. I mean, this day for us ranked up there like more fun than Christmas. I mean, it was that big a deal to us for years and years and years. And we raised a lot of money for the school, but really we just loved the tournament. We loved the day. We loved the tournament. Well, the time has kind of passed, and it's time for somebody else to carry on the torch. I mean, it's been going on for 40 years. And so I left the committee about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. But I had stayed on as MC. And when 2019 happened, I had said that I was done. It was just really time for them to get new blood. So golf tournament doesn't happen last year because of 2020. So now it was set to happen the last Friday in July. And they do have a new committee, and my dad is still involved in it, but I was not. So the committee comes to me and says, hey, we'd kind of like you to do the MC one more time. We really don't have anybody lined up. And, we'd like you to do it one more time. And my initial inclination is no, it's time for you to find somebody else. Well, then they say, well, we're going to give a plaque to your dad for 40 years of doing the Aquan Open, and we'd like you to present the plaque. Okay, well, now I'm like, well, I want to do that. I want to do that for my dad. I want to give him that moment. He certainly deserves it. And, being the guy that's been the MC and on the committee for a million years, this is something that I would do differently than everybody else. So, okay, I say okay. Now, what I had forgotten was for years and years and years, the Aquan Open was on a Thursday. It wasn't on a Friday. Well, I'd been off the committee, and they had moved it to a Friday for a bunch of reasons. Well, in the meantime, last May, I had bought for my wife and I tickets to go see the Foo Fighters up in Milwaukee. And I didn't think, because I knew it was right around the Aquan Open, but the concert was on a Friday, and for 150 years, the Aquan Open has been on a Thursday. So didn't dawn on me. So I bought the tickets. We had great seats, paid a lot of money. And, now here we are, we're going to be, 20 rows from the Foo Fighters or whatever at this great venue. Well, now I take a look. Guess what? The tickets are the same day as the Aquan Open, the same evening as the Aquan Open. So now here's my dilemma. I got tickets to go to the Foo Fighters, who I absolutely am dying to go see. It's something to do with my bride, which I absolutely want to do that. 100 reasons why I want to go do that. It's the same day as the Aquan Open. The Aquan Open is a shotgun in the morning and in the afternoon. I can play either one, so I could play in the morning. But the MC portion of it is at night. It's at 7 o'clock. It's at the dinner. And I'm committed to that because I want to do this plaque to my dad. So now there's the dilemma. I want to do the plaque to my dad. I desperately want to go to this concert. And I've also committed. So what do I do from there? So now, when you're in these types of decisions, first thing is to remember you've always got more than 2 options. If all you give yourself is 2 options, that's a dilemma. So rule number 1 for making a complicated decision is to find more options. What are the options outside of just those 2? And I hate the term thinking outside the box because it's such an overused term, but it's really kind of true. Think outside the box and come up with ideas that are different just than those two. It doesn't matter how far-fetched they are. It doesn't matter if they're going to work. The first thing to do when you're faced with a decision like this is, what are options outside of those options? And it starts to get you to think creatively of, what are some of the other things that could happen here? What's something else that could be done? What's something else that could be done? What's something else that could be done? Start thinking of ways to get all of these things done that you want done, but not do it in the traditional way that you've been thinking of. So that was the first step. So now, what I would invite you to do is to go back and think of a decision that you had to make where you were in a dilemma because you took yourself down to two choices, because that's what we always do. We always say, oh, we only got two choices, so now we're in a dilemma. Or bring up something that you've got coming up, some decision that you've got, and then over the next 3 days, we're going to go through the process of how to make a complicated decision and get yourself to a point where not only are you going to be able to come to a decision, you're going to be able to come to a decision that's probably going to be a little bit different than what you thought was available, and you're going to feel good about it. That's the great part, is you're going to go through this process and you're going to feel good about, okay, I did everything I could in terms of maximizing what I wanted to get done, and I'm really happy with the outcome of this. And I will tell you that I was able to come up with a great solution to this problem that I would have never thought of. Some of that came from my bride, but a lot of it came from the fact that we were having the conversation. And instead of just incanting to myself, oh, this sucks, I've only got these two choices, oh, this sucks, I've only got these two choices, I opened up my mind and I was like, okay, what are the other ideas? What are the other options? What are the other ways that I could get this done and still accomplish everything that I want to accomplish? So remember an old choice or find a new one. And then over the next couple of days, I'm going to take you through this process. It's invaluable. Whenever you've got a big decision, this is the process to go through. And for the rest of your life, you're going to be done with this process and feel like, I'm happy with the decision that I'm making and I've exhausted all my options. And now this is a result that I'm confident in. Have a great day, everybody. Make it a great Tuesday. I will talk to you tomorrow morning and we'll start going through the EEOC process. See you tomorrow. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.